happening, fellow fantasy GMs? I am JJ Wang. He is the bearded one, DJ Dove. And with our powers combined, we are the Fantasy Couriers.
Playoffs. Week 1. You having a good week there, JJ Wang?
I mean, I'm having a surprisingly good week. I mean, I got a lot of high scores. I'm not going to win all my games. I got one really, really close one. One's a blowout. One's, but yeah, it's overall a pretty good week. I can't complain.
Yeah, I only had 2 games this week. I had a pretty good year. I didn't realize till later. I was like, man, I got 7 buys and 2 play-in games. It's like, holy moly, it's been a heck of a year. And then I'm taking your brother-in-law down pretty badly, just woodshed type beating. Thanks to, I'm sure, a guy that we're going to talk about later on today from the Thursday night game, having a career game.
Oh, yeah, definitely talking about him.
But yeah, that's basically he gave up, and then my guys just kept scoring. I don't even know, like, it was so high. It was like 99% after the 1 o'clock games. That's when you know it's going to be a great day, and that's why if you're watching us, yep, I put on my nice fancy jacket today over my pajamas that I'm wearing underneath here, ready for a little Christmas fun here as we get into the week. As we're getting in, though, I mean, I don't know if you're going to address it or not, but today it was one changing of the guard, or times they are changing maybe, with the Chiefs are not going to be in the playoffs for the first time in 10 years, which, okay, that happens. But now Patrick Mahomes torn ACL.
Oh, is that what happened?
It just came over like right before. So if y'all are listeners, whenever we record this after, sometime on or after, they just finished the Denver game, is when we're recording before the Sunday night game. And then if you want to hear more, listen Tuesday, Fantasy Turf War at 9 o'clock. You can listen on our Facebook page or on Fantasy Turf War, anywhere you get your YouTube feed or X. But yeah, so they're saying torn ACL. So that makes you think. I was looking up on my phone, like, traditional timeline. You're looking 9 to 12. Some people have started practicing at 6. Does it make him a pure pocket passer? Where does that put you? What do you think about the Chiefs? Is this going to be one of those, like, Patrick Mahomes is Superman, he comes back and saves the world? Or how do you feel about him next year?
I think it's going to be tough. I can't imagine feeling much better about him next year than I do this year. Probably feel a little worse if they don't have a healthy Mahomes. I mean, if Mahomes couldn't take him to the promised land, what backup's going to be able, to do?
Gardner Minshew, man. Gardner Minshew the rest of the year. It's Minshew mania, baby.
But I can't imagine. Anybody's going to be really positive going into the Chiefs. Mahomes won't be back for the beginning of the season. Some people, it takes a little longer. It's usually the year after, the ACL. So, I'm not confident at all. Not confident at all.
3 nuggets here to think about. When Minshew went in, he initially, like, if you got Kelsey for the rest of the playoffs, he might step it up, because Minshew, all he did was just kept hitting Kelsey. So he's going to probably be checking down to Kelsey, or they might run 2 tight end sets. We'll see what goes on here next year. That, to me, that means there's a higher priority on them getting a little Breece Hall. Like, I thought Breece Hall is going to be a Chief next year. It makes sense. They got a little bit of money sitting there to give the, Rashee Rice will still be on a rookie. They're just paying Mahomes and probably Chris Jones and a couple guys. So pay Breece Hall, a little bit less than, he'll make half of Saquon. But he'd be a good back to put in that system. You don't have to pressure Mahomes. Like, I think Mahomes is back by game 1. I think game 1, worst case, we're looking top of October, and Minshew could get you through 3 or 4 games, depending on how bad the schedule is. And then Mahomes comes back, but they lean on Breece Hall next year. They become a running team. They, see how it pans out. But yeah, it's going to be intriguing. Or maybe they invest in a 1-year deal and some backup, like Mac Jones. They trade for Mac Jones. They sign someone who's going to get, I don't know. We'll see who's out there.
Yeah, I think if they've got aspirations of being good, I think they would have to get a legitimate backup, just to be on the safe side. And you should probably do it early, because the later you wait, the harder it's going to get to be get a quarterback. I mean, maybe get like a Kirk Cousins or something.
Joe Flacco,
Maybe it's
Kirk
just
Cousins.
maybe it's
They
just.
have, it, Atlanta don't have to eat the Cousins thing. They'll get Tua. That's what they'll do.
Man,
Miami eats Tua's
I, I,
contract.
I don't think teams really mind eating money the way they used to.
Yeah.
I think Cousins probably won't be a Falcon next year, so I think he'll be somewhere. But
Yeah, I decided on one of my really good teams, my super flex. It's him and my other quarterback is Burrow, who happened to come back. My other quarterback was Penix, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's been a heck of a year for me. This week I thought I'd be cute because the waiver wire is trifling there, so I just threw a bunch of my fab on and I picked up Philly Rivers. So I was gonna joke that hey, I'm gonna get Philip Rivers a ring, and now guess who's starting for me next week? More than likely. Philip Rivers, Jackson Smith, and Jig. I mean, it's not a quarterback-based team, but it was one of those. I was like, man, I'm glad I bit. Another guy bid a lot more on Riley Leonard. Oops. So we'll see how that pans out going forward. But it. I was talking with some guys today at church because they're big Patriots fan. How the NFL is interesting this year, like in real life, we're looking. It seems like there's a lot of really good teams, a lot of really bad teams, and the mediocre teams are almost not close enough to make it like the Chiefs were going to be. If they'd have won, they'd have been 7-7 and still peeking way in the window. Like Miami loses to Pittsburgh, they're toast as like the Chiefs. There's a bunch of teams right there. Like,
I mean, be honestly, is there any really, really good teams though? I think there's just more of
I
a
think there's a bunch. There's a bunch cluttered at the top. Is what I mean. Not
yeah,
just like
yeah,
one,
yeah,
but
yeah.
there's a
So
lot.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know how really good those teams are. I mean, of course, New England's good, Buffalo's good, Denver's good, but
Rams are spectacular.
but can you like are you just ready to trust all those guys yet? I mean, they're kind of like new to the scene. I mean, if Buffalo can't get it done this year, with no pretty much no Lamar, no Mahomes. I mean, this has got to be Josh Allen's year to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking Lamar. I mean, Lamar's gonna have to win to beat the Steelers to get in. Denver, and right now the Rams look like two of the strongest teams in the league. The Detroit Lions are peeking in the window, which is kind of crazy as good as they are. So it's an interesting real life kind of year, which could make the fantasy championships interesting if some of these teams start to like somebody gets really good, then they lose to this week and they lose next week, and they're gonna try to see what they got with younger guys or guys like a little knee. Like, is Drake London coming back? Like, that's gonna kill me. He's been out a week.
I mean, I think this season just allows for more opportunity for like the lower seeded teams to make a run. Like
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
the last team in the playoffs. I mean, they could. I mean, we've seen all these teams lose to subpar teams, so it wouldn't surprise me that happens in the playoffs.
I mean, currently, if you're looking at the AFC, the sixth seed is like the Chargers or the Bills. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because the Steelers and Ravens, whoever wins that division will get the 4 seed. But yeah, so that's the 16. All of those teams could win. And the NFC, they're not as, I mean, the NFC West is just stellar, but everything else is just floating across the board. But yeah, it'll be curious how it affects our playoffs here, and if guys are going to start holding guys out, getting ready for next year. You got like the big this week they decided like right at playoff time, Roma Dunze out.
Yeah.
So what would your thoughts be just for commissioner advice if they're listening? You're a commissioner, a guy has Roma Dunze. What do you think league protocol should be? Like, it was literally like 12:58. Like, it's not the 30 minutes before we get all that stuff. Is it one of those things where owner goes, hey, Roma Dunze just got it. I saw it at 101. Do you flop him in? What do you do? What do you think?
I don't think you do because I mean I think that makes for a slippery slope. And then if you do it for him, how do you justify the next guy that made a mistake? And how close are you getting? Like Ramaduzzi was 58, right? Bill, if it's that close, yeah. But then what if it's 50? You get to 12:50, or are you going to allow some guy that's not watching his TV from 12:45 to 1 o'clock? Or maybe it's 12:45. I mean, how do you justify? Well, I wasn't around in my, I mean, still canceling somebody at 12:45 is still pretty
Yeah.
really, really close to deadline. So, I mean, honestly, I I think you don't change it at all. I mean, you either got your guy in or you got your guy don't. After the game starts, you gotta lock it just for kind of like integrity of the league.
Yeah, I think I'd be in leagues if he hasn't played it down. If the other guy that you're trading hasn't played it down, I wouldn't be too picky about it. And if it's within if it's like 105, somewhere in there. But that
Oh,
also makes me think
because
owners use sleeper.
yeah,
Sleeper has that function.
I mean, I feel like, but yeah, either that or you're opening up a real slippery slope if you're changing rosters, after the first 5 minutes of the game start. Um, like if one of his guys hasn't played yet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Like
if the
no stats have been accrued for either guy whatsoever.
I mean,
Is the only thing I would do. I
if
wouldn't
his
put it if a
game has
guy got 5 yards.
started,
Game over.
you shouldn't be able to switch him out. Like maybe he doesn't have any points yet, but the game has started. I mean, at that point, I think they got a lock. There's no switching. That's my opinion.
Enough about the league as it is. Let's get into a little fantasy. We don't have any real big fancy things, so I thought I'd play just a little music to give us a little.
Sound professional. Yeah, I just wanted to just go over some guys. It's kind of be like, I guess, like a combination of everything. I'm going to ask, probably, question, they for real, for it's stuff like that. Little pleasure, little pain. See what they, see where we get, how many guys we get through here. First guy I want to bring up, two guys from the same team, kind of like a surprise team. Let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Uh, Currently first place, in the South. I don't know how many people really thought they were going to be in first place. Come to this point, I mean, it is Jacksonville.
Zero. Zero.
But yeah, right, right. So I'm going to talk about Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, that's for the year he's been a top 12 guy, but over the last 5, 6, well, pretty much since like week 5, he's had one bad game where he's been outside the top 20. Um, he was QB 21 since week 5, but other than that, he's had a bunch of top 12 performances. Are you kind of like changing your opinion on Trevor Lawrence this year? I mean, I was kind of get almost ready to jump off the train, especially at the beginning of the year. Wasn't looking really good. Now he kind of made this run where he's looking more impressive. Are you maybe buying back into him a little bit?
I think we have to. I think the thing is he's had the stink. Like I really have been. I thought Trevor Lawrence was dead. Like paying
Yep.
very little attention. Like I've had him on the team I'm in the one that's like all like your family and friends and connections, and all of a sudden he just basically steamed. Like I didn't realize this team is gonna right now has 247 points. There's
Yeah.
no like wonky crazy scoring because Trevor Lawrence put up 54 points this week against the Jets. I didn't think they would lambaste him that bad. Like I thought he'd be turning over the balls. Like I in DFS, the Jets were my defense, thinking, hey,
Yeah.
he'll throw a couple pickles, but all he did was, yeah, like I think you got to, but the thing is, you're still cautious because he's had that stink for years, but maybe this is the step he takes to the next one, and I'm not ready to make him a QB1. I'd put him, 12, 13, 14, 15, somewhere. I mean, there's a whole gaggle of guys you can throw right there, but we'll see. I mean, if he ends the year like he's playing now, maybe we're talking about Trevor Lawrence next year, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah. So I'll bring up another quarterback real quick. I wanted to talk about CJ Stroud. Had a good game today. Of course, Houston's playing really well too. I mean, they're battling it out with Jacksonville in the South. Um, CJ Stroud, he's kind of all over the place. I mean, I have a good game, then I have a bad game, then I have kind of like a decent game. It's really kind of hard to find any consistency with him. Outside of that first year where everybody thought he was the man. Uh, so between Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud, who would you prefer to have? I feel like they're kind of like in the same range, right?
Yeah, I think the youth of Stroud makes him equal to Trevor Lawrence, but right now, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is playing better than CJ Stroud. So you're going to want to have him. I mean, talk about getting lucky in the playoffs. You got CJ Stroud in the playoffs. Next week, he plays the Raiders. The Raiders apparently are a non functioning football team. They don't have the Chargers, which is harder in the championship game. But yeah, he's the level of inconsistency. So right now you want Trevor Lawrence, and I mean he's only got what 3 more years on Stroud. I got too many screens put up. I think he's only got like 3 or 4 more years ahead of Stroud. So you're not talking about a lot more
Yeah,
years.
there's two. Lawrence was
Lawrence is here
26.
4, yeah, he's here too. So 2 years.
So only 2 years.
I mean, I think they're fairly comparable. Trevor might step up because he does occasionally run, not a ton, but Stroud's a pocket passer, so there's a little value in that.
Yeah, I think I would go Trevor Lawrence at this point. I was like, I was losing confidence in CJ Stroud just as much confidence I was losing in Trevor Lawrence. I mean, they were equally about as disappointing. But I think at this point, I think I would go with Trevor Lawrence. I know it might come back and bite me in the butt, but it is what it is. Kind of on the sadder news, maybe this is a trend we really don't want to. I don't want to say talk about, but we don't want to come true. I want to talk about Sam Darnold. And Seattle had a really bad game today. I know they rely on their defense a lot. Uh, but are you kind of worried that maybe Sam Darnold and in the playoffs, as far as fantasy playoffs goes, are you kind of worried that maybe this is going to be his thing and he just might crap the bed over the next 2 weeks? Because we know he did last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been every other. I was trying to let me see if I can find that. I just had the Seahawks pulled up. Like, so next week they've got the Rams. I mean, I think this game on Thursday is going to be a shootout. So you might be okay with Sam Darnold there, and then they got the Panthers. So I'm not super worried considering this week the Jared Goff put up a bunch of points against them. Sam Darnold has his own Amon-Ra St. Brown. So am I nervous about Sam Darnold? Yes. Do I think Sam Darnold is Superman? No, I think this is what he is.
Yeah.
He's better than what he was. He's not, I mean, realistically, if you look at last year, this is what he was last year, right? He was good. He led a team, and
Yeah,
that's what you want as a fan. As fantasy, you want consistency. But I think it's nothing. I mean, he's going to end up with what, about 3,800 yards on the year, maybe close to 4,000. Currently, he has 22 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So maybe he has a couple good weeks, gets closer to 30, maybe gets to 26. Maybe the running backs get it, but I think he's leading the team. You'll get one interception, which won't kill you. So he's not your one quarterback guy, but he's a guy at two quarterbacks. I'd be fine having him, especially with those games coming up.
yeah, I agree. I agree. Like I said, Sam Darnold. If you don't have something in the back of your head thinking this guy's going to let me down, you're absolutely crazy because he will absolutely let you down.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, switching to running back. Let's go back. I want to go back to Jacksonville real quick. Talk about Travis Etienne. Um, has had a really good season. There was like a stretch, weeks 5, 6, and 7. Not really all that good, but other than that, he's been a top 12 guy. I think people were really down on him coming into the season. I don't think nobody really expected him to like play this well. But like I said, he's a top 10 guy. Is this something that carries over into next year, and you're viewing ETN as back as as a top 10 running back? I mean, this Jacksonville team is looking really good, and it's 26. Another 2 years of ETN being super productive, maybe. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, you got to look, ETN's stats are going to get blown up today. I mean, 3 touchdowns through the air is going to move him way up on the season. So that he has a grand total of 12 touchdowns on the year. So 3 of them he got today. So it's going to move him up. Do I think he's top 10 next year? No. Do I think he's going to have those boomer bust games? I'd like him as a mid to low end 2, and you'll probably get him cheaper than that because he's going to be, his birthday is in January, so that'll be his year 20. He'll be his age 27 year. So, and I think they'll probably want to get Tootin a little more involved in next year, and that would be a wiser play as an NFL team anyway. And he showed that he was a decent running back. So I think he's not going to be a top 10. He'll come out statistically top 10, but I mean, you're looking against Tennessee. He had 28 rushing yards, 13 receiving yards, and zippy touchdowns. Against the Raiders, a terrible team, 84 rushing yards, 31 receivers, 100 yards, that's 5 points. He wasn't explosive. He had 1, 2, 2 over 100-yard rushing games, and they were 124, 143 at the start of the year. So not he's not the ETN we thought he was, where he was like the number 2 overall running back, but he's not dead. So I think we got another year or two but he could be a serviceable. I'd feel comfortable with him as a flex. I'd take him.
Oh
as
yeah,
an
absolutely. I mean,
if I had really good receivers.
if he's my third running, I mean, I'd be completely happy if he's my third
Yeah.
running back. I mean, he's had a really solid season, and if he stays in Jacksonville, I really can't imagine the production changing much. They might
He's
want
a
to add.
zero RB kind of guy.
Yeah. So I mean, I enjoy him being my third running back. I got 3 young running backs here. I want you to kind of rank these guys how you see them going into next season. The first one I want to talk about is I have 2 of these are kind of like your guys. You can like kind of like both of them.
Young guy.
The first one's Bucky Irving. Of course, he's been injured this year, missed the middle of the season, but other than that, it's been, I mean, rather solid. I'm 23 years old. Of course, what he did last year, came on the scene, had a fantastic season. The other guy from Denver Broncos, RJ Harvey, thought he was going to get a little bit more run than he has. But over the last, 4 weeks, I mean, he's had double-digit carries. This week he had 19 for 65 and a touchdown. So over the last 4 or 5 games, he's really been, playing a lot more, coming on a little stronger. And the third guy is Quinshon Judkins of Cleveland Browns. Not a good game today. Hasn't had a lot of good games here lately, but he started out really, really strong. I mean, he looked impressive, so he knew what he can do. So between these 3 guys, kind of like rank them 1, 2, 3 in the next season, where you have them ranked comparable to each other.
I'm stuck with Irving and Judkins.
Irving.
I think they are the cream. The cream as you're going there. Gosh.
So you don't think Harvey being on a better team would be a better option than Judkins?
Sean Payton will bring in a second running back. I like Harvey. I'm a Harvey guy. I hope so. Like in my dream world, yes, because I need him on a team where I need that extra running back. But I think Irving's going to get 100% of the ball. Judkins is going to get most of it, and then when Sampson's healthy, I think they got a really good 2 there. They showed when Irving plays, they're going to let him do the work, and he's come back. He's looked okay. He hasn't been anything spectacular since he's been back this year. So I'll go with Judkins just because you want a younger running back, so 1 year younger, but I think that it's 1A, 1B. You're going with Irving on a better team. But then if the Browns stick with Shador, they'll have better line next year, which would benefit Judkins a lot and hopefully better coaching next year. So if you tell me I got to pick someone, I'm going to go Judkins, Irving, very tight, and then RJ Harvey because he falls right there. I think I like him better than Etienne in the grand scheme. Not Etienne. Who we just talked about? Yeah, it was Etienne, wasn't it? Yeah. I like him right there in that Etienne range because he's going to get the passing downs, but I just think Peyton's going to bring in a second guy because that's what he does.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think Harvey is just going to. I think Harvey's going to get a lot of work, and then they might bring in a second running back. But I think being in that offense, the way Peyton likes to run, I think Harvey's going to be really successful. And I wouldn't be surprised if Harvey ends up being better than kind of both of these guys.
I sure hope so.
So I'll switch it over to wide receiver real quick. I got 2 wide receivers. First guy I want to talk about is Troy Franklin from Denver. Looks been pretty good over the last. Well, I don't want to say the last few weeks, but he's looking better. I mean, he's had some better games. Of course, he's 22 years old. Seems like he could be a type that could take over for Courtland Sutton when Courtland Sutton retires, maybe. Could he be the number 1 guy?
I think so. It'll be. I mean, he's got a couple years. He's just extended Sutton, so he'll be a really good 2 for Denver. And with the targets, I mean, other than the last 3 weeks have been his worst targets. Up until that, he had a stretch of a month where he had 10, 8, 10, 9 targets, and that was spectacular. I mean, today he got the touchdown, the yards. So I think his problem's gonna be it's Sean Payton offense. So it's gonna be like what they just pass it around, and Sutton will be that big guy in the end zone. Right. So he might have weeks where he's really good, weeks where.
We'll see. So who would you prefer, Troy Franklin or Wan'Dale Robinson?
I can't get over the stink of Wandell. I totally ranked
Absolutely.
him too low today, and then he scored a touchdown.
And he's had a really, really good season. I mean, he's wide receiver 18, and this since week 7, he's had almost pretty much double digit targets. He had one game where it's 4, but other than it's 12, 11, 11, 9, 14, 8, 10. So he's getting a lot of targets. Now, granted, next
Malik
next
Neighbor.
year who's going to be more of a second guy, but I think with Jackson Dart, I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity for Wandale Robinson to be like a really, really good number 2. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know because you got neighbors coming back. You got Theo Johnson should step up. It's hilarious they paid Slayton so much money. Imagine how they could actually be good. And then a lot of the draft stuff I'm seeing going like way ahead has them maybe looking at a receiver. So they could have 2 receivers, and that'll push Wandell back. So I'm a little nervous about that. Whereas I'm pretty sure Peyton's gonna probably draft a lineman or another defensive guy because that's what Peyton does. So I'm more confident in Franklin because there's the connection also with Nick's going back, and I don't think he's going to. I mean, his big competition is going to be from Pat Bryant next year. Pat Bryant, I think, is the heir apparent probably more to Sutton, so he'll be playing alongside of Troy Franklin.
I can see that. All right. One more. I want you to pick between these two guys. I got Adnan Mitchell for the Jets. So he got traded to the Jets. I mean, he's had a couple good games. I mean, I don't know how you can really judge it with their quarterback situation going on, but with the quarterback, I'm not sure the guy's name. But I mean, yeah, I mean, he had a decent game today. And then the other guy is Luther Burden. I bring up Luther Burden because I don't know how much longer DJ Moore is going to be in Chicago. Maybe gone after this year. Luther Burden can kind of slide into that DJ Moore role, and DJ Moore has been okay. Hasn't been great. He had a really, really good game today. Adnan Mitchell, of course, will be the number 2 in New York when Garrett Wilson comes back, and presumably Burden would be the number 2 in Chicago if considering how Roma Dunze pans out. Which one of these number 2s would you prefer?
I'm going to go Burden just
Burden.
because we don't know what's going to be in New York. Adonai Mitchell has been a flop, and we thought it was going to be our boy John Mechie, and then it was Adonai Mitchell. He's been a little bit better over the last couple weeks. And Burden, I didn't realize how thick he was. Dude's 210, 6'2".
Yeah.
210. He's a thicker dude.
Kind of like a Debo type.
Yeah, very very Debo type. Like I wasn't high on him, but he's picked up. I mean, he's getting since since the second week of November, he's had 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7 targets. So he's getting looks from Caleb Williams, and Caleb Williams hasn't been earth shattering this year. He's been kind of poopy, but he's been better. So I think with one more year in a Ben Johnson offense, that I think Luther Burden's going to be a name that we're going to be. He'll be a guy that you'll be able to get 8th, 9th, 10th round next year and go, hey, I got this sneaky guy who's getting me, 50 yards and the occasional touchdown on about 4 or 5 catches. And that's your wide receiver 3.
Yeah, I'd be interested see, especially in a dynasty league, if you can like get Burden like kind of early before 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 the next season kind of starts, where the buzz kind of builds up a little bit, especially if they lose DJ Moore.
I
Um
feel like AD Mitchell would be a lot cheaper.
oh yeah, yeah, he would definitely be cheaper. I got one tight end I'm gonna bring up. I gotta bring it up. He's the star of the week. Can't pass up this opportunity. But I have to know, are we back on the Kyle Pitts train? So he had a huge week this week. I mean, 11 catches, 166 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Obviously, that's not going to happen every week. But the last few weeks, he's been tight end 6, tight end 7, and now tight end 1. Looks like he's becoming more and more involved in the offense. Hopefully, does this put us back on the train, and we're thinking maybe Kyle Pitts is actually could be this good.
You realize this is, I'm looking it up now, basically the second highest scoring fantasy tight end in the fantasy football era. Like the highest guy ever would have been Kellen Winslow back in 81. They said he would have scored 57.4 points. I'm trying to see the stats here. 13 catches. I'm guessing a bunch of touchdowns. He has 2 of them. Then Shannon Sharp had one in 96. And then Ditka back in 61 would have had 46 points. And then it's Kyle Pitts. So follow that by Darren Waller. So you're looking at names there, but Kyle Pitts, I don't know. It's Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is hitting him. Kirk Cousins will not be the quarterback. I mean, Kyle Pitts might. Will he carry this on to make some guy win the league that has been pooped on all year because they've had Kyle Pitts? Like I got my buddy Drew. He's had Kyle Pitts for years, and he's like, I got to keep playing him. I got to keep playing him because the day I don't play him, this is going to happen. And I mean, Kyle Pitts has had not a terrible year, but he's also had a couple poopers where you're like, oh, cool, good job. 3 for 14, 5 for 25. Thanks for that, dude.
Yeah, what tight end hasn't had a bunch? What tight end hasn't had a bunch of poopers?
I mean, but look at his year. He's got 90s. He's got 73 receptions, 797, and 4 touchdowns. That makes him what? You're drafting him tight end 6 next year?
Yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, Chris gets me back on the train. I was never really off the train, but I'm kind of back into it. Yeah, this guy's the real.
It's Trey McBride and then a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, so pretty much.
That's right. I think. Yeah, because we looked on Tuesday. You know, Trey McBride. I think they figured out what was he like 3, 4, 5 in the receivers. That's how good of a year that dude is having.
Yeah, he's having a bomb. He's having a bomb season.
It's pretty crazy to think about. Okay, dude. Here we go. Push button.
Surefire waste of a touchdown.
This week we got some interesting names here for you. I'm going to ask you if you know. There's a couple of names you've heard of. A couple of names I didn't know existed. So we're going to be really deep here for this. So let's go to the Thursday night game. Cade Otton was out, which meant that if a tight end scored, we would not know who it was. 6-yard tight end touchdown to Devin Culp. Yeah. I think it might have been his first catch ever, which was a touchdown. So he's got a pretty good touchdown to catch ratio. But yeah, since we don't really know who he is, that makes that a definite.
It's definitely a surefire waste of a touchdown. It's the first time I've ever heard his name. So first catch, first time ever hearing his name. So yeah.
A 30-yard pass from Lamar Jackson to the running back. Of course, we know it's going to not be Derrick Henry because that'd be great for us. Really quick, dude. We know the name, but Rasheen Ali, 30-yard touchdown. He's fast as the wind, but yeah, you're not starting Rasheen Ali, which makes this a
surefire waste of a touchdown. Yeah, he was one of my favorite guys coming out of college. I still got him on a couple teams.
Yes, quick. Here's a name from the preseason: 16-yard touchdown pass from Justin Herbert to Keandre Lambert-Smith. I think he has maybe one earlier this year, maybe not. I have to go look at that. But yeah, that's a name I hadn't heard. He was supposed to make some noise, him and Harris, and neither of them really they pop up every blue moon, but yeah. Not anymore though, so that makes that
that's a surefire waste of a touchdown. I don't even know if I've ever even heard of that name.
I'm missing something. He was a preseason guy who was.
I have no idea. It doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, they were arguing like Harris is going to be a flop, and this kid was having a good preseason.
I'll take your word for it.
Trevor Lawrence, 4-yard pass to Brian Thomas Jr.
Yes, definitely a waste of a touchdown.
I wonder how many people have actually benched him that when he finally scored this touchdown. I had to put it in there as a joke. I bet you for about a lot of teams because they're watching the playoffs because of this. That's what almost makes this one a
surefire waste of a touchdown. Yeah, Brian Thomas is still one of those guys that's just hard not to start. So
yeah, well, the thing is, would you start him or Jacoby Myers? I mean, Jacoby Myers was playing a lot better than him recently.
That is true too. Yeah.
So that I have them ranked. I think I had Myers and then Thomas ranked when I was doing rankings this week. 24-yard rushing touchdown for the New York Jets for Isaiah Davis. If you're in the playoffs and you're playing him, here's a 22-team playoff. Makes that a
surefire waste of a touchdown. I got him on a couple teams too. I mean, just like seeing him play well. I mean, especially if Breece Hall leaves next year, he might get more opportunity.
To see him, or it'll be Braylon.
Allen, yeah.
It might be both of them. I mean, that's how you should do it. Put both those guys in with a young quarterback. I mean, Cook didn't look terrible. I mean, he had 3 interceptions, but that Jags defense is really good. 20-yard pass from Bo Nix, who likes to spread the ball around, even to guys that I still don't believe are on the Denver Broncos team. One guy we've heard of, Lil Jordan Humphrey. He's a big boy. We know who he is. We hear his name pop up on different teams over the years. Most notably, he's a Saint recently, But that's definitely a
surefire ways of a touchdown. He's one of those random guys that you hear every now and then. He keeps plugging away in the NFL, man.
Now,
Kudos
this
to
guy,
him.
I really think they pulled out of the crowd. I've never heard of this dude. I think they went up in the crowd. They said, "Hey, we're going to put a uniform on you." His name is Michael Bandy. 20-yard touchdown from Bo Nix. Never heard of this dude. He's got to be like their sixth receiver. If little Jordan Humphrey, after those top bunch of guys, is scoring, then Michael Bandy, he's got to be the third string center or something.
Yeah.
But he's a little bitty receiver dude. But that's for sure
surefire ways of a touchdown. Never heard of that guy either. So
you've heard of this dude, the last one, but it doesn't make sense. 1 yard touchdown pass from Cam Ward off his back foot, a little rainbow into the end zone to Jeffrey Simmons, defensive tackle.
I was about to say defensive guy.
That's his second touchdown. Yes.
Oh wow!
I think they said he had one on the East Coast. This one was on the West Coast. But yeah, he was just off his back foot. He's like, this dude's. He's what? Because he reported as eligible. He lined up as a fullback and he just lobbed it across the field. He's like wide open. He caught it. He basketed it. I thought that was kind of cool. And he went and tackled Cam. But yeah, that's definitely a
surefire ways of a touchdown. I'm wondering if they can make it a way for like maybe a defensive lineman to get points if you're playing an IDL if they score like a random touchdown.
I think they do. I don't know. I haven't done it IDL for a while. Like I would assume it's built in. Like I love those. I think if you have kickers, I love that whole like if a kicker makes a tackle, he gets like a gajillion points. You ever seen those leagues?
No,
there's some leagues where like if the kicker makes a tackle, he gets like 10 points or something. I've heard like 50.
I would hate that.
That would be. I mean, well, kicker points are so crappy. I mean, if you had the Seattle kicker, I just lost his name. He's on my team. The dude had 6 field goals today, and all of them were long. And so he pretty much won. Jason Myers. He pretty much won somebody their league, their game this week more than likely.
Yeah, I don't mind kickers, but I don't know about
kickers are just a crapshoot stat. They're absolutely bonkers. So that's why I don't mind it. I'd love to see a kicker making a tackle. That's awesome. But yeah, so those are our wasted touchdowns. As always, if you want to drink some Dubby, use code Couriers, Dubby.gg. Go check out. This week I actually played some games. I hadn't even went and looked. I played a little fast draft this week. I did my first little draft I ever done on there. I didn't even go see how I did on there. I should go check that out. And been using Riverside. Gonna do some things in the off season. Maybe do some clips. I've noticed with my other podcasts, I throw clips out, and they're hitting like crazy on YouTube, and Riverside creates the clips for us. So I might be fiddling with that, seeing if we can get us rolling. But if you want to hear more about the week, check me out with the Gridiron Goddess and Cameron Bassett Tuesday nights on the Fantasy Turf War Show, 9 p.m. Eastern. Jump on there, pop a question in there. I'll call and say, hey, what's up, Couriers? We'll put you on there. Your whatever you write will be on there. You can check it out on Fantasy Turf War's YouTube, on their X, on Rumble, or on our Facebook page. I usually try to pop out a link on Tuesday. I might not Tuesday because I've got my play is Tuesday for my kids. I told them, I said, I will be running home, probably still wearing my suit from the play and doing the podcast. I might even not know what I'm talking about at that point. We'll see what happens, because hopefully I can talk lots about the Dolphins beating up on Aaron Rodgers. That would just make me
I know. Well, I mean, maybe it's possible.
Very, very happy. I mean, okay, you got wisdom for us?
Yeah, I was going to talk about wrestling. I guess, I was going to talk about wrestling. I haven't watched wrestling in a really long time. I was kind of boycotting it for a while. I still kind of am. I really still not watching it. I keep up with it, of course, still don't watch it. But I decided to watch it on Saturday night, being John Cena's final match. I thought I'd give it a go. And I have to say, I was not impressed. The John Cena match was okay. I wasn't a fan of how it ended. I thought it ended rather stupid. I did like him booing Triple H as he came out. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. So it really wasn't. I mean, I don't mind John Cena losing. I mean, that's fine. Just the way he did it, I thought was kind of weak. And
he should have went out, like not tapped it, because he never got. He should have just like suffocated. That was what
it should have been more of a dominant tap out.
Not a tap out. It should have just been like
a submission type thing. And then the rest of the show was really bad too. I mean, all the matches were short. I think they were all.
I didn't see any of the rest. I got home just in time to watch Cena we were in a parade, and I got home just in time to watch the Cena match.
They were all under 10 minutes, and So I feel like 55% of the show was just, I know this was a John Cena retirement tour. 55% of the show was just them talking about John Cena retiring, I mean, which is fine. But I mean, I just thought it was a little too much. I wasn't impressed. I will say it didn't make me want to watch wrestling. I mean, if that's, what do you think?
Apparently, they're going to do more of these. Like I saw somewhere that they're thinking about doing like one of these for Brock and for guys. And I mean, I'm a Cena. I know you weren't a Cena person. I like Cena just because he's just like a goofy, fun guy. I mean, he was the Hogan of this generation, which sort of put it back on the everyday man's kind of map, and did that. And now he's going to basically train up the new guys, be an ambassador. He's not going, he signed one of those Legends deals, so he'll be like floating around. But he's going to do more movie stuff. He's got, I forget what he was working on, a bunch of stuff now, and so yeah, it wasn't overly exciting. I didn't know if they would let him go out on top. They say that the ending was his call. They let him decide what they were going to do, but I didn't like the tap. Like I thought, because it goes against the whole idea of the never give up. So he should have just like totally just passed out
Yeah.
and then came back like wrestlers do. Or
Yeah, I agree. I mean, not a fan at all. So definitely not enough to get me back into wrestling. So as always, trust yourself and trust the process.